Today with me, I've got MissyMonoxide and HighVis, photographers in Dallas. They're going to talk about some of the work they do and how they get some of the most amazing shots that I've seen of Dallas so far. So if you haven't followed them on Instagram, you probably should. You should look for HighVis on Instagram and check out some of their photos. And I'm going to post up some of their stuff while we're talking, so you guys can kind of follow along and see what these guys have to offer. It's really awesome, really detailed. Some of these are like drone footage, and the coolest ones I think are the ones where like they're on like skyscrapers. If you've ever seen any of those photos of people on skyscrapers and stuff, and like they're dangling off, like it's got that little bit of fear and that little bit of excitement to it that makes the photo to the next level. So I wanted to kind of get with these guys and talk to them about some of what they did. Help me in welcoming them to the show. Alright, let's do this. So, you guys want to kind of give me a brief bio on yourselves? Like, how'd you guys get started? How'd you guys get into photography? And, did you always know that you were going to be photographers?
No. Not really. I mean, obviously we have a graphic design background, so that's kind of what we did. But we were always around photographers, and both of us have always kind of taken photos. I mean, I always used my iPhone before I even got a camera, so both of us were just iPhone photographers, I guess.
For like the longest time.
So don't say it's that. You can start from the iPhone, and if you have a good enough phone, like some of these things, like the new iPhone X has crazy.
Oh, that's like a camera.
Yeah, like that's,
you're learning.
That's what Amber has, I think. So.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. That's how we both started, And, like, it's funny because when we first started, we both had these dreams. We wanted to be, like, these designers at these companies, like, work up the ladder. And one day, be, like, the top dog.
Be the top dog CEO.
Yeah, but, as a designer in the industry, you quickly learn, like, it's never your vision. It's not you in the world. The work just becomes, like, soul-sucking and lame, and you just don't feel proud of it. You don't want your name attached to it. So it's funny because that kind of forced us to explore, like, other creative fields, such as video, photography, and it just happened that photography kind of, like, reeled us in. And having the design background, you understand like what makes a good image, so it was a little bit easier for us to just transition into photography. We have this like basic understanding of what's a good picture,
like composition and color.
So where did you guys start like thinking about like photography as a means of like supporting yourselves? Like, when did it actually come to like, yo, I can really make some money doing this shit?
I think that happened like by accident.
It was like an accident. Like, did you like take one photo? Somebody was like, I want that right there.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw people making money off of it, and I was just like, how are they making money? So I didn't have an Instagram, so I just started one. Yeah. And then I realized that I needed to have like a public account, and that's kind of like where the whole HighVis thing came from. Was I needed to have my photos
have a certain look
to have people like be able to see them. If I had a private account, no one was gonna see it. So I kept sharing stuff, and it was only my followers, like 100 and a couple hundred followers or something. And so I knew that wasn't gonna work, so I just decided to make a only photography, not selfies, and my
like our food and stuff.
Yeah. So
my day-to-day shit, like just take
a
dump. Here's my after dump snack.
I mean, we'll still take pictures of our food and
but
shit,
it's a different
but it's a
page.
little more. It's more like in our stories. It's not like our post, unless it's like a pro photo of food and we like did it for a company. But other like if it's just like our lunch or some shit, we're not gonna post that.
Okay, so when did you evolve from the that's a cool evolution. So, what kind of programs do you use to just to edit your photos and stuff like that?
Lightroom's
Lightroom.
really
Lightroom, all right.
Lightroom for most of the editing, and then you only
Any
really
Photoshop?
go into Photoshop if you're gonna do like masking or some like compositing.
Okay.
So it's funny because we actually always thought that Photoshop was
the
go-to
program
for photography, and it can be, but just
'cause I've
on a
seen some people
user
using that,
friendliness level, Lightroom,
It's super
because there's people that we know have no design background, no photography background, they just started it as a hobby, and they're using Lightroom, so it's like super user friendly. It's like all the tools, so once you learn how to navigate the tools, and like obviously us having the design background, so it was like, having gone from Photoshop to Lightroom, it's so much easier to use. You can do a lot actually. So really you only need Photoshop if you need to like do intense like advanced editing.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
So let's see. Who are some of your influences when you guys take photos? Do you guys like look at other photographers, or is anybody that you guys follow that like kind of inspired or is it like all your own? Like, this is my vision. This is my execution. This is my shit.
It's all been done before. Rooftoping's been done.
I know like it's a thing, but like I don't think anybody's photographed Dallas like that.
That's what I feel like. It's just kind of what I want to show Dallas, like people show New York or
people
LA.
show the biggest like Singapore. I've seen some guys go and they do like the walking on the crate, And that
like we
cool,
saw the potential for photography. We saw the movement, how it's affecting LA, New York, and we were like, man, we wish there was something like that here in Dallas, but it just didn't seem to us like there was a community for that. And that's kind of why we started DTXStreet, and it was just supposed to be like a group where people that want to shoot and kind of do that, even if on a really small scale, like we can all just gang up together and go shoot. And it started with a few meetups, like a couple hundred people, and that slowly like worked its way up, and next thing we know there's like this whole movement, and there's photographers and all these creatives that we didn't know just start coming out of the woodwork, and now there's like this giant community, and literally it's such a small world. Like we run into people every day, and we'll literally have like 3 people in common, and it's people that we never thought that we would know each other, but that's just through networking at meetups, we've like everyone has like a great networker, so it's like you could really work for yourself if you wanted to. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What kind of camera do you guys use for this shit? This looks fucking awesome.
I think that's actually an iPhone photo.
That's like one of his oldies. Yeah. Maybe.
Wait, so you take your iPhone photos in the Lightroom?
Well,
did you?
That one was, but like that's my camera.
Yeah. So what kind of camera? How many cameras do you own?
I only own one, and I mean, I shot a crop sensor camera up till like November of last year, and most of those photos are with that. But most of my newer photos are a Canon 6D, so it's a full frame. That's a full frame.
Yeah.
Damn.
I just shoot within a Sony A6000.
That's an edit. That cloud one. That's not really.
That's not. Oh, you added a lot of the clouds and shit. Nice compositing. So you take this one. This one.
So that's Photoshop? Where you go into Photoshop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's the same from that rooftop that I was on. But I just wanted to like
make it look like you
a different day, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna make it have a different feel, a different mood. I mean,
see, my job, I would add like a monster back here, like some fucking shit coming through, blow up and shit. So
like a whole
yeah. That's what's up, dude. I like this, man. Dude, I definitely dig this shit.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, a lot of what in the community is people don't like giving away spots sometimes.
Okay.
But I feel like I can shoot in the same spot for like a month and like get a bunch of dope shit.
Shots.
Actually, what he means is like people in the community don't like to give away anything, which is why DTXStreet has been so different, because we're like one of the few people where people can come up and ask us questions. and we'll tell you. Like, if you ask me, what settings did you use? I'll tell you what settings I use. Like,
instead of like trying to hide it,
yeah.
they think, like,
it's
you're
like, are you so threatened?
Right.
Yeah, like, are you that threatened? Like, are you that lacking in your confidence that you're afraid to tell a kid or another person where this rooftop is or how you did something? Like, if you really think you're that great, then it shouldn't be a problem to help somebody else.
The greatest people are the people who like share their
yeah.
Like, they're willing.
Like, why
if
hide
you ask
it?
somebody really like, yo, like they'll be willing to sit with you and talk with you about like how they
Yeah.
really do it, because they don't think it's like some big mystical thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's amazing because like I've had people that I've helped, they'll find me later and they'll be like, Missy, thank you so much. Like, that advice you gave me, like, it really changed me, or I really learned how to do this better. Like, thank you for the setting on my camera, you know. And it's a good feeling because then you see them grow. So in a sense, it's like, not only do you live on through your own legacy, you're going to live on through all these other people. Who so it's like a little bit of your soul, like, scattered. So I don't know why people are afraid of that. Like, competition is good. If they're good, then I gotta be better. And it just keeps going like that. So then you're never stagnant.
Man, like a lot of the pictures, man, you have like the principles down. Like, this has really good symmetry. You know, like there's good repetition that's making this photo really awesome, and then there's like the little pouring of light that comes through. Like, that's an awesome photo, you know. And a lot of times, like there's this guy that we watch. His name is Thomas Keaton. And he'll go out with like his camera and like the snow, like, and it's like pouring snow, like, and he'll literally go out, take one photo, and he'll edit it in his in Lightroom, and it's like an amazing photo. Like, and it's like, dude, like, he says he just looks for the right moment, and he'll walk around sometimes, and he says like you have to always be looking, and you always have to be like, because you might miss a great picture just by looking for a certain spot. You know, like, just trying to focus on a certain spot, you miss what the world of photography is trying to show you. And it's like, man, this guy, he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
That's how we run meetups usually. I mean, a lot of people think sometimes they're like planned routes and stuff, but usually we're just like, hey, you know, like, where should we go? You know, like,
we go where we see things, you know, like, I know at some meetups, for instance, like a model will pose, everyone flocks in and starts shooting. And you'll see me and a couple of others, and we're just kind of like standing there. Doesn't look like we're doing much. And then later we'll post a shot and everyone says how good it is. But it's like, you just get to a point where you learn to be selective.
Yeah.
You're missing out on what's really the good shit.
Well, I mean, you just learn to really be selective about it. Like, the model will pose, but I don't shoot every pose she does. I look for certain things. I look at her face, her expression, the lighting, the wind. Is her hair in her face? I look at a lot of different things. So it may look like I'm not doing much, you know, I'm not like like constantly, but I'm just waiting. And then when it's that moment,
and that's what, like, I feel like a lot of newer photographers would probably do. That's probably what I would do. I'm going out like, I need 1,000 pictures of these so I can pick from 1,000 pictures that you know might not look right. And the thing is, I really haven't focused on getting the perfect picture. I really haven't thought through the photo, and I think that's really what separates like the pros.
You just gotta be patient.
You know, like you look for that. You're like, oh, the lighting's right, and like this guy, I'm telling you, he'll like just lay out. Like, let me just pull him up for a second. Like,
just take your time.
Yeah, he'll just
like when you're shooting, just, you know, if you're not feeling it, don't shoot it. Just hold the shutter, and when you feel like that's the pose, that's the look, then you shoot, and you get enough shots where you can pick from. But, you know, I wouldn't like just shoot the whole thing like crazy. People gotta learn like patience.
So, like, he does all this stuff himself. You know, like, he shoots all of this himself.
That's insane.
And Amber made this joke that, like, I just realized that, like, the fact that he has to shoot himself, like he'll like shoot himself walking off, like he has to go back and pick that camera up because he doesn't have anybody with him. But like, the dedication is like, yo, this guy's doing.
See, I've thought of doing that, but you can't be doing that in downtown Dallas. Like you can't leave your camera unattended because they won't be there when you get back.
The bear's gonna knock that shit over here.
Yeah, but you know the bear's not gonna steal it. He might eat it, but.
It usually comes from the west, from the US of A, and it brings with it rain, occasional snow. But when the weather moves in from the east, you're almost guaranteed sub-zero winter conditions.
So like he goes out, right, and he goes and he looks for like the best photo. You know what I'm saying? And he'll just wait.
Uniform, and what I noticed first of all was the colour. The lovely rich browns of the taller pine trees.
So he's like noticing, and it's like that's the kind of the way you guys were talking, and that's why.
Yeah,
I was like,
you just have to look at everything, like the whole package. It's like taking your time when you meet somebody. You don't just go throw yourself at them. Like, let's get married. You want to date them a little bit. You want to check it out, scope it out. Yeah, for all you know, they're like a sock offender. There's socks everywhere all the time. You never know.
We better do this.
So he's coming.
It's just patience.
Yeah.
It's like anything. It kind of makes you appreciate it more because you're waiting. I don't know. There's like a little whole emotional magic behind it.
He takes one photo.
Yeah.
And then he moves on.
But look at that contrast.
Like look at but he's taking it into Lightroom.
Yeah.
And he's like done some so it's really cool. So like that's some dope ass shit in my opinion. If I've ever seen it. So let's move on. Like that's. You guys need to do your own little, start filming your stuff. I know you're getting good with After Effects now. You're going to start doing it. So. Yeah. What do you guys see the future of photography?
Anyone can do it.
I mean, like, with, like, iPhones being so good, like, do you think, like, I don't know.
I think more and more people are going to get into it because even at our meets, there's people that have come that weren't photographers, never even shot. And, like, they would just see us in the streets, so they would just join, like, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're doing a photo meetup. Oh, do I need to have a camera? Like, nah, your phone's fine. So they'll start shooting with phones, and then you see them at more and more meetups, and then suddenly they have a camera. And now they're shooting, and now they're, like, booking gigs, and, they're, like, doing their cousins' friends' photos. But, I mean, everyone starts somewhere. So they literally went from not knowing anything to stumbling upon it, and now they're making it, like, they're making money from it.
That's dope.
Yeah, so anybody can do it. You just
have to start.
You just have to have vision. Like, you just really have to dig deep and just think about what you want to show people, how you want to show them. Are you telling a story? Or are you just shooting for fun? Like, I mean, is your horizon level, what's the lighting like? Like, really think about your crop. Like, really think about what you're trying to show somebody. I don't know. At least I put a lot of thought into that. But I like to shoot portraiture. I like people. So I like to get real deep.
You like to bring the story. Like, what am I trying to tell?
And I'm a woman, so I like storytelling.
Like, it's not just because you're a woman. I think the art of storytelling is part of a creative's job.
Yeah.
If you're a painter, you're trying to convey a message. As an artist, like when I do my shit, I'm trying to convey a message. If I don't convey my message, or if I don't convey the company's message, I didn't do my job right that day.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is tell these stories and have people buy into the stories, and if they're good enough, people will give us real money, so I eat real food.
Or sometimes you get food, like that's the beauty of it. So the opportunities that can come from it isn't always work where it's paid. Like, sometimes you get products, sometimes you get merchandise, sometimes you get food.
That's cool.
So, like, a company will be like, hey, come shoot us. We'll hook you up with, like, the whole day's worth of donuts or whatever.
Okay, so how would you advise... I think that would be a sign that a lot of people would approve of. We'll work for donuts.
I would, yeah.
So, like, okay, so on that topic, like, how would you suggest somebody getting into photography, like, jump into it? Like, would you jump into it, like, yo, you got an iPhone... you can go and start.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
I would start shooting with my iPhone. Really focus on your crop. Really focus on your editing. Start editing with basic iPhone software. I mean, there's great apps out there like Snapseed, VSCO, even the basic Instagram filters and stuff like that. Just practice editing the photo. Mess with everything. Mess with the contrast, the brightness, the shadows, highlights. Like, see what everything does.
Familiarize yourself with the
just like see what it does. Even if you're not, you just blow up the highlights and you see like, whoa, that's too bright. You know, just to familiarize yourself with what everything means and how manipulating it affects the image, and then that's the only way you're gonna learn. So once you have all that down and you're pretty good at basic editing and you're pretty good at, you know, getting a good composition, then I would maybe invest in a camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and how would you suggest people go about finding gigs and stuff like that?
DM people.
DM people, promote yourself on Instagram. I know a couple of people that have started, and literally every day on their story, they're like, hit me up, booking shoots now, you know, $50, book now. So they're starting at inexpensive level. They're not making a lot of money, but what they're doing is they're putting themselves out there, and they're getting these little opportunities and just getting that work to be able to post. Eventually, companies will see it, and then you get better and better opportunities.
Okay. Outside of like freelance and stuff like that, do you guys ever do like galleries and stuff like that or anything like that? Have you guys thought about any of that stuff, and how would people get into doing like gallery stuff?
Well, you have one.
Have you guys done?
Well, we did last year. We hosted the 1 year anniversary for DTXStreet. We did a gallery, and that was actually a really successful event. There was like over 300 people.
That's awesome.
There was a line down the block, so then fire marshal actually shut us down like at the very end. And now,
you guys got lost in the mail.
And now you can tell them about Lita.
The helicopter. Yeah, the helicopter event that we're having is pretty cool. Just like taking an Instameet and combining it with helicopters, and like a car show, DJ, and a bunch of stuff. So it's gonna be pretty.
Cool.
So that's gonna be on the 17th. And it's gonna be free food, music, free helicopter ride.
17th of this month?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be at the CBD Vertiport, right by the convention center.
Yeah. Everything
will be free. And then at actually this Sunday, we partnered with this group called Decent Market. They hit us up. They're having a dope ass event. It's like all local streetwear, local brands, artists, musicians. It's just gonna be like a giant party, and they wanted us to host an Instameet there and like bring in a crowd. So we're partnering in with that, and it's gonna be dope. So we're gonna have an Instameet there. They're gonna be at the Deep Ellum Art Company. It's a super dope venue. Like, it's an artist stream. Like, you walk in, it's like a club, but it's got murals, art everywhere. It's just really eclectic, you know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So do you guys have any other hobbies other than photography? Do you guys, or is that like pretty much 24/7?
We like YouTube.
YouTube is your...
We like to watch
what
vloggers.
YouTube do you guys... What kind of YouTube do you guys watch?
I like watching vloggers. I like just watching creative people.
Do you guys ever watch Desus and Mero?
Who?
You guys ever watch Desus and Mero?
No.
You guys have to check out Desus.
He's got me watching Ryan Taylor's British guy, and he's like, "Sir, too fast." That's all he ever says.
Like
but
a BMXer.
Yeah.
I just
dope.
really what I was doing was just watching YouTube to like figure out what I wanted to do on YouTube. So kind of just seeing what different people do. Like, I'm not a daily vlogger kind of person. I'm probably more of the trying to do a viral video type thing. Yeah.
So like, what would yours like? I think yours would be more like day in the kind of life. Cause like I see some of the stuff that you do like when you're on the train and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that shit's cool. Like your like photography throughout is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that would make interesting for people who would want to see. Oh, okay, this is the life of a photographer.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody who's working every day, somebody in the trenches, and that's part of why I did the show is to talk to the people in the trenches. Yo, how's your day going? What's your struggle like? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My struggle is
It's funny because I actually do that in a lot of my stories.
Yeah.
And at first, I was like shy about opening up because I didn't think anybody cared. But surprisingly, like people love the shit out of my stories, and they'll hit me up and they're like, "Man, you should really have a YouTube channel. Like I would watch you. Like you have
I
a."
think you guys
Because I talk a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've prepared my whole life. Like you don't understand. I have VHS tapes. I've been filming since I was like 14, 15. And the sole purpose of me filming everything that I did is because I was so convinced that one day I would be famous. And when they're showing clips of me on TV,
they're gonna need they're gonna need baby ones.
yeah, so I already have it. So I mean, I have videos
That's
of me like
awesome.
14-year-old, 15-year-old. I'm like
Mom,
videotaping
why did you
my
have that insight
friends.
for me?
Dude, yeah, I have like friends of my friend like skateboarding. I have videos
That's
of us
dope.
going into bandos.
I think that's like Amber's family too. Is like they have so many videos of her. Like,
yeah.
so many videos.
Well, I mean, I
don't
got
have
on my
any
own.
I barely have baby pictures. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I think I feel like my life started when I was like 10.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause I think
I
that's,
just
like, the
always
first
liked
picture I've
that.
seen.
I remember since I was a teenager, only back then we didn't have digital cameras, so I just always carried around disposable cameras. I was just always artsy, creative,
Yeah.
really liked photography and video. And when I was 15, my dad got me a Sony Handycam. And that's what I would like use and film everything, and I would edit on the camera because it's on cartridge,
yeah,
so
you
you
can do
can't
that.
like digital anything.
Yeah, there's no-
So I would have to like stop it where I want to cut to my next scene, and so I have like these skateboard videos.
First things first,
I've
yo,
been-
that takes a lot of skill.
I have
It
some
does.
of the craziest videos, and I would even add like type onto the video. I would give it like titles and put like. I just really wanted to be on TV.
Okay, do you still want to be on TV now?
I do, but I don't know that I'm interesting. I don't know that I do anything that cool. I mean, yeah,
That's
but
pretty cool.
I don't know. I just always thought I was gonna be famous somehow. I just always thought I had something.
I don't think you're the only one. I don't think that's like a. Something that you should be like. Oh, it's. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think it's something that a lot of people are like. Oh, I should be famous. Like that's why there are a lot of mixtapes out there. That
Yeah,
sell shit right
I mean,
now.
but it's crazy. Like since I was 3 years old, I've been telling my mom like I'm gonna be famous.
It's never
someday.
too late. Yo, what's his name? 2 Chainz. He's like 50. he just became famous when he was like 45. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's old people getting famous too. Like so, it's never too late to follow your dreams.
My
It's
dream was to be
never,
a
ever too
VJ.
late.
So like I wanted to be a video jockey on MTV. I just used to think that I had this
What?
personality like Daisy Fuentes.
Mhm.
You know, I wanted to. I've always been good at
I
speaking.
think you'd be a dope EDM DJ.
I went down that route a little bit. I actually made a couple of beats
Yeah, I
in
think
Fruity
you'd be
Loops.
dope.
Yeah,
I
but no,
know. I'm like,
they
yo.
are so
I'd be
bad.
at the concert like, yeah, Missy!
They
Like,
are
yo.
some pretty lame little bits. So let's just say the music didn't work out for me, but I always felt like
Have you
I
tried,
should be in front of a camera, like a
Okay.
host it, or like a TV show host, a talk show host, because I love talking, if you've noticed.
Oh, that's why I get people on here who like. So it's interesting because like the dynamics have been interesting so far with like the people that I've had, and I think that's what I wanted to try to get across through with the show is that like artists come in all shapes and sizes and all kinds of personalities and all walks of life that no matter what kind of art you do, we're all going through similar shit.
I mean, we're Team 30, like we're in our 30s and we're just now exploring this side of our creativity.
Like some people think like, yo, I'm gonna pop by the time I'm 25.
And that's
Shit,
the only thing you pop by 25 is migraine.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, yo, chill out. First things
Yeah.
first, slow your roll. You know what I'm saying? I thought it too. I was like, yo, by the time I'm 30, yo, I'm gonna be on top of the world.
Oh, I'm supposed to be a billionaire right now.
Like I'm supposed to be a billion. Yeah,
that obviously didn't work
you know what I'm
out.
saying? Like,
It's a lot harder than you think.
yeah, it's not even that it's just harder. It's like reality versus, So
Oh, yeah.
if you want that lifestyle though, like the people that do it, it's a lot of luck and a lot of hard work.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's possible to get the life you want, but you have to work really hard.
Yeah,
for
we
it,
sacrifice
you
a
know what I'm saying?
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and some people you sacrifice health. Well, like there's a lot of pain and blood and sweat and tears that goes into all
time
this
is
stuff,
probably
time consumption.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting field to go into, to be a creative. So do you guys get it? Do you guys get creative blocks or anything, or is it hard to be creative sometimes, or what's the hardest part of photography for you guys? Is it like scouting? What's the?
I guess it's more just
like finding what to shoot, and in regards with people, because sometimes you have this vision, and it's sometimes really hard to find that right model. So it's really a combined effort. Like, you have to have a great model, because you can be the greatest photographer, and if you have a crappy model, it's just the work is not going to say what you wanted to say. So when we do have blocks, it's mostly because we're trying to find that perfect person that's fitting the image that we have in our mind and that we can put into our vision.
Okay.
But
get it together, models. Get it together. All right? Ones and twos. Left, right, plie, whatever the fuck you gotta do. That's what's up, though. So, any personal projects you guys are working on right now?
Not really.
That you can talk about, or is it all like, top secret right now until it like drops like Banksy or some shit? Would you see street art over like downtown? DTX.
He's probably got I've seen him today. Well, the last couple of days he's been getting videos of cranes around downtown, so I'm pretty sure he's already cooking up.
He's cooking something up.
Yeah.
Cooking up some
so
places.
how much does he like tell you, or is it like just like the cops show up like what did you do?
When he's out, the only way I know that he's still alive or not in jail is I follow his story. So I have to see his story. Because I try not to text him or anything, because I don't want him to be like on a crane and I text him and he tries to read it and dies. So I just leave him alone. I'll watch his story, and if I see that he didn't post for like 30 minutes,
she's airing you out right now, man.
Then I'm like, okay, I think security got. And usually when I feel like that's what happened, he'll come home and be like, oh, I'm sorry, babe, security had me, blah blah blah.
Damn. Oh, see, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you ever get permission, or are you just like, man, it's better to ask forgiveness than
Yeah.
Kind of that.
Yeah.
I mean, they usually tell you like, oh yeah, you should just ask, for permission. Like, nah, they're not gonna let you.
Yeah.
So. Damn. Well, I'm not gonna suggest kids you go out and fucking climb rooftops and shit, because that's just mad dangerous.
Yeah.
But that shit looks cool.
It does.
So with that, what really you don't get scared out there?
I mean, there's always
that. Have you ever you ever got to a slippery man, this shit is. You can close your ears right now and act like you ain't gonna hear this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just act like.
I mean, not really. I try to make it safe.
The thing is
to a point. I mean, obviously, walking on a ledge of a building isn't safe.
Yeah.
Or going. Yeah, I mean, just even climbing or even going in construction sites. Can be pretty dangerous in themselves.
Him. I'm like, if you freaking die, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. I will bring you back to life, and I will kill you again.
And
I will bring you back
you.
again. Yeah.
So I mean, I tell him think about our dog. Just think about me and our little Armani all alone in the rain because you died. So I feel like that.
It's a lot safer than people think it is. It's more of getting past the fear of being in a position where you're out in the open, but I mean usually there's something secure to hold on to, or all that stuff's made to walk on and climb on, so
but these people are usually harnessed. That's the part he left out.
Okay.
There's security equipment. He's just free walking, But that's cool.
That's cool.
She wishes I wore a harness.
I do, and
you can't tie me down, man. You can't tie me down.
Yeah. He's just trying to make me a widower, but that's cool because I told him if anything happens.
So you've never been on the rooftop?
She has.
I have, yeah.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I just don't.
Bonnie and Clyde,
I'll sit on them and take pictures and stuff. I just don't walk on them knocking on death's door. I don't do all that.
Is that how you feel But technically, like, every time you get in a car, you're not.
Like, the way I feel, so the way I see it is, like, super basic, and it might even sound stupid, but let's just say that I have a very deep understanding and respect for life, and I understand boundaries, so I will push my limits, I will do things that are fun and stuff, but I always respect life at the end of the day. I understand I am not invincible, I don't ever think I am. And you know, some people like Adam don't respect that.
Whoa, okay.
No.
I don't think it's
not like in a bad way. It's a good thing that
he doesn't respect it, or is he like, yo, I respect you so much, I'm willing to look you in the face.
No, I think the humility of understanding your place in life is not tempting fate. There's a humility behind it, and I'm not saying that he's not humble. I'm just saying he's a little more daring. And a lot of people have been throughout history, but you know, usually there's some kind of tragic ending, and then they just become a legend based on what they did.
I'm not a legend.
I'm not willing.
Legend status? What the fuck?
I'm not willing to trade my life to be a legend. Yeah. Like I value my family. I value my life and my existence enough to want to be here for as long as I can until I can fulfill my mission. Your mission. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we just see it different. I'm not saying that he doesn't have respect.
I mean. I was surprised because I was like, yo, she's mad cool with this. Like, Amber would kill me if I go to the skate park and she's like, yo, you're not wearing pads right now? Like, you know, like, I'm like, yo.
I mean, I just had to learn to deal with it.
Let me do my
I
thing,
usually
babe,
don't tell her exactly what we're going to do. I would be like, yeah, we're going to.
I'm going to go out,
Yeah.
Usually based on who I'm going out with, she'll know like, oh yeah, they're probably gonna. Like,
I try not to think about what he's doing, because literally my biggest fear is getting.
It's
that
like you're a
knock
police
on the door.
officer or something, like you know what I'm saying, like. Yo.
Like my greatest fear is getting that knock or having somebody that he's with saying like, oh shit, he fell or something. That's my biggest fear. But I love him enough that I'm going to let him do whatever he wants. And like I said, I respect life in my own way. He has his own feelings about life. Obviously, we see it differently. For him, it's more about adventure and kind of, not selfishness in a bad way, but he kind of lives more life for himself, where I am more like selfless. I'm more about like family. Not that there's anything wrong with him, I'm just saying I'm like extra when it comes to like my family and stuff. So I don't know, I just want to be around, you know, as long as I can.
That's good, man. That's good. Like,
that's why women also live longer.
We out there hunting and gathering and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we had to face the dinosaurs. Were you trying to face the dinosaur? You know what I'm saying? I would. You want to eat or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got to do what I got to do sometimes. Yep. But I'll be back. You know what I'm saying?
See a woman, we would just be vegan. Yeah. Why eat the dinosaur? I'll just be vegan.
Like, one day you're going to stop eating me. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a goat. I don't like graze on grass and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, y'all are men. Y'all are going to do what y'all are going to do.
Beat on our chest. We're going to get out there into the world.
She won't let me get a motorcycle, though.
What? Oh, man. No, she won't let me get one.
No.
I want one, man.
No. Oh. I had a friend recently lose her husband on a motorcycle. I'm not trying to get that
skydiving or base jumping is happening this year, though,
that would
for
be
sure.
So dope.
She doesn't want to do it. I'm definitely doing it.
I'm down. We'll do it together, bro.
Yeah. I'm down. YouTube video.
YouTube!
See, he doesn't understand.
That's a podcast episode right there.
He just doesn't understand that if he skydives, he thinks that means I don't have to do it. But it's the complete opposite. If he skydives, I now has to skydive.
Oh, shit.
You see, because I'm on the same level. He started rooftopping. I did it too. Not because I'm trying to do everything he does. I just always been a firm believer that women have a place in this too. So I rooftop so that women see that they can do it. So if he jumps out of a plane, that's going to make me look really bad if I don't do it.
You're like a
so I have to do it.
You're like, I hate it, but I'm going to do it to prove to you.
Yeah. I'm going to be really, really mad
when I'm doing it, but you're going to know we can do this.
I'll probably flip him off before I jump out of the plane. I'll be like, I hate you so much. But once I do it, I mean, I'll probably hate him for a week after I do. I'll be pissed, but I'm going to say I did it.
Deep down, though.
But deep down, I'm gonna feel good because now I'm gonna be like, what?
Yeah,
I did it too, and I'm a female. What? And I have fibromyalgia. What? So.
All right.
I don't want it to happen, but if it happens, it happens.
So, what's the coolest project you guys have gotten to work on? I mean, I don't know if anything is as exciting like as rooftoping, but you know.
I mean.
And what's the coolest, like, I guess, is there a company you can name, like, yo, I got to shoot this, or I got to shoot that, and that was super dope, or, like, have you shot any celebrities?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
That was a bust.
We were at a
Sorry,
club.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, we were at a club, and he was coming in the VIP, and I wasn't supposed to be taking pictures, but I was still,
He ruined it for everyone.
I'm gonna get it, but like 2 or 3 of his bouncers picked me up and carried me outside the club.
Cool. That's a way better story than I expected it to be.
No, so then he messed it up. What? And I was standing there, I was just watching Lil Wayne, but I had my camera on my neck, and suddenly these 2 dudes come up to me and they start manhandling me and trying to take my camera, and they're like, you can't be taking pictures.
You guys
and
got
I'm
roughed up by Lil Wayne's bodyguards?
Yeah.
Yeah. All because of this guy.
Yo, how close were you guys to him? Like a few feet?
Oh,
we were like right there. I was watching.
I got a photo.
Where you are.
Yo!
I'm like, Lil
Hey,
Wayne.
no, that's the photo right there. That's the photo right there. You can see his bodyguard looking at me. Look at him over on the right.
That's him right here?
Yeah, but look at over on the right. He's staring me down.
That's the guy?
Yeah, so that's how close we were to him. And then Adam had to go and not listen. Everyone's like, don't take pictures, just wait. But no, Mr. Guy over here couldn't wait. So then Lil Wayne got pissed, and then we all got kicked out. Or we weren't allowed to take pictures.
Yeah.
Easy, you should just drop the album, son. Drop the album. Carter 5.
Dude, I was so pissed. Like, I started cussing at the guards. I was like, don't you effing touch me. I'm like, why are you touching me? They're like, why are you taking pictures? I was like, man, I ain't even shot anything.
Yeah.
I thought y'all said we couldn't. They're like, well, he's taking pictures.
And the club still wanted to use the photo, too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yo, that's a cool story. Well, in retrospect, but probably at the time it wasn't as cool.
Yeah.
I was pretty mad.
It's pretty dope.
I was pretty mad.
Yeah, these are cool.
I feel like that really is the most exciting thing. That was the street, shooting.
Yeah, street stuff. Yeah, like.
That's me in the photo, but yeah, we were in a bando, yeah.
That's dope. How'd you guys light this?
He had a light lighting the inside of that wall, and then obviously I'm lighting up the
people
whole
get creative,
inside.
man. We'll bring around lights, pixel sticks, all kinds of stuff. Smoke
Super
bombs.
dope,
Yeah.
man. We gotta start coming through on
Steel
some of these
wool.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are cool.
But yeah, working with companies is the company I work for, Yums.
See, he's more of like a
designing.
street guy. I typically shoot more like portraits.
I try, but my portraits are pretty alright. But I like the street. I like buildings. I like to just catch things. Like I'm not a very comfortable person. Like, hey, pose like this. I mean, I can do it, but it's more like work for me that way. I just like to catch the stuff happening, like the city, like someone's walking across, like if you go to the top, like all the way to the top. We had fog not too long ago. What was it, like last week?
Yeah, I remember
That photo right there. Like just the fog downtown, I just sat there and like waited for the people, like, and I just saw it and I just like took like 10 photos and then caught that one of him perfectly in the middle.
Yeah, this is a dope photo.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But I like catching things like that. But yeah, she's definitely a lot better at telling models how to pose. I'm kind of mean. I'm kind of mean when I.
No, I just know how to communicate better. I'm a talker. I'm a people person. So I mean, Yeah, he's pretty badass or whatever, but I feel like my portraits are a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just tell the models what I want them to do. Like ever since I was a kid, I kind of always wanted to design or shoot for magazines. So I really base my work on like fashion.
That's dope.
Yeah, I try.
That's cool. So see, the funny thing is, I've tried to do this exact thing, and mine was mad weak.
It's on shutter speed.
Shutter speed and whoever's doing the smoke too.
You gotta know what you're doing. People will move it really fast, but you actually have to like go slow so you can create that cloud effect. That's like her promo video.
I think I've seen that. That's cool. So do you do like fashion stuff?
That's what I'm trying to get more into and work with like local brands. I just always wanted to like shoot for magazines. I like more of an editorial look.
That's cool.
Oh, that's
I just
you
like
do have a way
people.
with people.
Yeah, I like people. I like catching their different expressions and like catching them in their element, really.
That's dope. These are really cool.
Thank you.
Man.
Yeah, like in my dreams, you know, I'd like to shoot for a complex one day or
I don't know if Complex is ready, yo.
oh man.
Like, these are
I just really like grunge. I like grunge, punk,
like
just really street, gritty, rough, edgy type people.
Yo, I could see this like all over like Billabong or like
Yeah,
somewhere dope.
that's the kind of stuff
like,
I grew up
even
admiring.
Vice could use like some dope ass photography like that. It's like very Vice-ish, very like
My favorite subject.
Yeah, I was gonna say like yo. That's dope.
That's in New York.
One like of my few
How
buildings.
how often do you guys have you guys like? Is this the only time you've ever been there?
Yeah, that was our first
We
time.
want to go back though.
Yeah.
We literally walked around for a week straight. Like didn't do anything but eat,
Walk.
sleep, and take photos.
And I rolled both my ankles, so like he was like having to like carry me around.
And my homie dropped his $6,500 setup into the New Jersey River.
Oh yeah, our friend.
Brand new,
Fish it back up?
camera.
zero insurance.
Did you fish it back up?
He
It was
did,
done.
and he
It
tried
was
to put it
already
in a
done.
rice bag. Oh man, it was the saddest day in our lives. Like we were just sitting there. We
Jay-
all had our cameras on a tripod on a rock. We were getting like one of the bridges, and then you just hear.
Yeah.
And his camera, he just like no, he jumps in and grabs it.
Yeah.
It was wet. His whole lens looked like a fishbowl.
J3 Photography
Oh.
on Instagram. Yeah,
Oh,
he was
that's
very
dope.
upset.
Oh yeah, you know I have my moments where I get architectural, but I like it, but I like people more.
Yeah, this is like I like the composition.
Thanks.
Yeah, man, you guys have been awesome teachers of photography, man. Like you guys really need to definitely share this knowledge with people. I like the fact that you guys are definitely giving back to the community.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's giving you so much. So,
Dude,
like,
we love it. And we try to be open. We try to be available. So, like, you'll see us at meetups sometimes. Like, he could be in the middle of a shot, have a kid come up and ask him a question. He'll stop what he's doing to ask him or to answer.
Yeah.
You know, if, like, this last meetup we did or we went to, I didn't even shoot. I think I shot, like, one picture, the one of the girl that you showed in the beginning. That's, like, the one picture I got because I spent the whole time talking to people, just answering questions, like, helping people with their settings. So it's, you know, it's not always about you even out there being, like, doing the shooting. You could just be out there helping people. And we're cool with that. Like, we don't mind.
I mean, that's why we started it, was to help people put their photos on there and, you know, get more views. So, but.
And now we just really want to focus on doing events. So, like, this helicopter event will be kind of like our guinea pig to see what we can do. And based on how that goes, like, that's really one thing we want to do is we want to be hosting these, like, large-scale events for the community. And we typically try to keep it free. You know, just because we understand you're an
But we do.
artist.
And that's what I've said. Is like people have asked me like, "Yo, you should, you know, make people like pay for your episodes." I'm like, I don't know if I want to, like, because the people I'm marketing to are people who are in school and shit, and they don't have, like, if I wanted to see my videos, I wouldn't be able to pay for my videos if I was in school right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I can't do that to previous me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, that's how
yeah,
we feel.
you know,
like
so-
that's old us
yeah,
right there.
Like, I can't really do that. So.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for coming on the Artist Struggle. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you guys being here. This has been awesome talking to you guys and getting to experience some of your photography.
Right.
Where can people find your stuff? You know.
Instagram. Twitter.
Do you have your
so
hand up?
HighVis,
HighVis.
DTXStreet, right?
DTXStreet.
We have HighVis, DTXStreet,
Which are
DTX Women,
Okay.
and MissyMonoxide.
Missy
So
Monoxide, Instagram.
yeah, so I started DTX Women as like a sister branch to DTXStreet. Only I focus strictly on women, so it's all female empowerment. It's about promoting female videographers, photographers, models, makeup artists. Just because the community is so saturated and dominated by men, that a lot of females that I talk to were finding themselves going through the same struggle that I was, where they weren't getting the visibility that they wanted, or people were downplaying them because they're comparing us to people like Adam, which is like, that's awesome because that's a great standard, you know, but we do different things, you know, so... You know, I felt it compelled, like, I need to have my own base. And I thought I was just being a whiny woman, like, oh, it's because my husband's better than me. But the more I talked to other women, it was just like an issue. So I made this page, and now all these women, we have this, like, great network. I can tell you now, oh, yeah, there's, like, 12 photographers that I know, 12 women photographers. I know videographers. Like, I know important women in important places that I didn't have access to before because there's just nowhere for us to be. We were just getting lost
in this,
amongst all the guys. So yeah, DTX Women, we'll be having our first gallery. It'll be March 31st.
Okay.
And it'll be to display the work of my team and some talented females in the community. Awesome. Girl power.
Definitely. Just we'll definitely plug that right at the end. So like right
yeah,
here.
support your women.
Right here or something.
Yeah. DTX Women. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and he's been like super supportive of us and of me with my whole I guess he understands, even though he's a guy, like he's seen it firsthand too.
Well, I mean, the streets aren't the safest place.
Well, that too.
Obviously, we're out with like 3-4 guys. Or even myself, I feel comfortable. I mean, I can just feel like walking out, but I mean, I wouldn't want her walking out alone. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm right here. What's up?
Yeah, but I mean, so them being able to have, you know, networking and knowing other female photographers and other, you know, creatives in general, just that they can network with, that they feel safe or to be able to network with or reach out to. I mean, not a lot of females want to reach out to, you know, like me and be like, hey, you want to go shoot? Like, yeah, let's go hit some roofs. Like, you know, like, yeah, like they would
might hit a
rather
roof
reach out
with
to
me because maybe they don't feel like I'm gonna try to take them from a roof to a crane like Adam would. You know, they'd probably be like, oh, it's Missy, or we're just gonna like go to the tip of the roof.
Do chill shit.
Yeah, they know that I will not let them die.
Yeah.
But with Adam, you're taking some risks.
All right,
so
cool. I'm going with you then.
y'all can do that.
Cool. Well, once again, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Whenever I have another episode, you guys are definitely coming back.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you.
Look out for this episode. More stuff to come. Thank you.
Cut.
Okay, let's do this. All right. We're going to do a game that you guys know by now. It's called This or That with MissyMonoxide and HighVis. Let's do it. We're going to start easy, simple, small. Then we're going to ramp it up. All right? The first question on This or That. What would you rather have? Dog or cat?
Dog.
Why did I say cat? I don't know why I said cat.
You don't even.
Why did I say
You just
that?
betrayed our puppy.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wow, I'm so glad glad this is on video. I am so glad.
Wait, let's cut that and start that up.
You already said it.
Alright.
Why did you say cat? That is
Right.
weird. That is weird.
Alright. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Phone call or text?
Text.
Toast or eggs?
Eggs.
Toast.
Cardio or weights?
Cardio.
Weights.
Facebook or Twitter?
Facebook.
Facebook, probably, yeah.
Ice cream cone or snow cone?
Ice cream.
While you're walking, music or podcast?
Music.
Sorry.
iOS or Android?
iOS.
Form or function?
Function, I feel.
I feel like it's form because sometimes I buy shit just because it looks cool.
Okay.
Sorry.
Pop or indie?
Indie.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Swimming or sunbathing?
Swimming.
Sunbathing.
High tech or low tech?
High tech.
Oh, okay. Big party or small gathering?
Small gathering.
Yeah, small gathering.
Didn't sound like y'all when y'all was 20.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're talking about young us. That would have been party.
Yeah. New clothes or new phone?
New phone.
Clothes.
I like new phone. Why would you want a new phone?
I like new clothes.
Rich friend or loyal friend?
Loyal.
Football or basketball? A royal friend.
Did I say royal?
I meant or a princess. I don't know.
I went from Wakanda.
Yeah, Wakanda forever. Right? Let's do this. Nice car or nice home interior?
Nice home interior.
Work hard or play hard?
Play hard.
Work hard.
Okay. What's worse? Laundry or dishes?
Both.
Dishes.
So we know who doesn't do shit. Jogging or hiking?
Jogging.
Bath or shower?
Bath.
Shower.
Sneakers or sandals?
Sneakers.
Glasses or contacts?
Glasses.
Contacts.
Hamburger or taco?
Taco.
Couch or recliner?
Recliner.
Either one. Couch. Couch is what comes to mind. I like laying down on a couch.
That's what a recliner is for. You
Yeah.
recline.
Yeah.
Thus to lay.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
Online shopping or shopping in the store?
Online.
Store, because I gotta try things on. I have a weird body.
I hate the store.
I'm a girl.
Alright. Receive an email or a letter?
Yeah.
Email.
Passenger or driver?
Passenger.
Driver.
Tablet or computer?
Computer.
Tablet, just because I can go places.
Okay. Car or truck?
Car.
Ooh, truck.
Blue or red?
Red.
Blue.
It's like it's a relatively easy one, but you know.
Well, it's more close to purple than red.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Money or free time?
Free time.
Yeah, free time.
Amusement park or day at the beach?
Day at the beach.
Day at the beach.
Okay. At a movie, candy or popcorn?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Alright. Pencil or pencil? Pen or
Huh?
pencil?
I was like, is this a trick question?
Yes, it is.
Pencil for
I like
sure.
pens.
Alright. Toilet paper, over or under?
Huh? Oh, over for
Over?
sure. That's the way it was
Over,
patented.
yeah.
Over?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's confusing at first. I was
Yeah,
like,
people always like, I don't know, I guess I do under. I'm like, yo, I'm not asking you how
That's
you like
weird.
I like
Weird.
it over
Like-
because then you can see it, right?
Yeah, you can pull it from the top.
That's too much detail. All right, keep going.
Sorry.
Alright, guys. To this or that. Pancake or waffle?
Ooh,
Pancake.
Pancakes.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Love Coke.
Coffee cup or thermos?
Coffee cup.
Coffee cup.
Blinds or curtains?
Curtains.
Blinds.
Nah.
Train or plane?
Plane.
Plane.
Phone or tablet?
Phone.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
Meat or vegetables?
Meat.
Meat.
That's an exact meat.
Dang it, all my vegan
Look
friends
at
are
it,
gonna hate
meat.
me. Sorry, vegan friends. That includes veggie meats, though.
Okay.
Okay.
International vacation or new TV?
International vacation.
All right. Save or spend?
Save.
Honesty or others' feelings?
Honesty.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Coffee.
TV or book?
What?
TV or
Oh,
book?
TV.
I like books.
All right. Movie at home or movie at the theater?
Movie at theater, I like.
All right, ocean or mountains?
Ocean.
Horror movie or comedy movie?
Horror.
Sorry.
Yeah, you guys know y'all made for each other.
Yeah.
We both like horror, you know. Like, yeah.
We like the important
Yeah,
things.
the important shit.
Yeah.
City or countryside?
City.
Okay, winter or summer?
Summer.
Final question. This is the one whether I know you guys should be together or you guys should be in separate countries. Mac or PC?
Mac.
What? Alright, you guys want to.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, that's the last part of the Art of Struggle. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
coming
for
in
having
today.
us.
Thank you.
I'm excited about these strips.
Oh yeah, check stick. That's the shit right there.
I didn't open them because I realized how much sound it
Noise
picks
it was
up.
gonna make,
And
yeah.
I was like,
Alright, cool. We're done. Thank you.
awesome, thank you. That was fun.
Right? Alright.
So this is what celebrities do.
Oh, it's too hot.
I could get used to that.
You used to just come in and talk.
Just talking, like, dang, and they get paid for this, you know?